Okay, right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to work on changing permissions inside files and folders, but not using a numerical value, but using a letter alpha concept. All right, I don't know what the proper term is, but anyways, we're still going to use chmod, but we're just going to not use numbers. Basically, right now, what I am is inside logged in as the user, the root role on Bill Solaris in here. I'm at the root level here. I'm going to use a folder that I created called music. So I'm going to go cd music. And if I list, there's a folder going to be called folk. Well, let's do this. ls-l. Oops. And we're going to focus in on the folder called folk. All right. And in folk, you notice it's a directory. The root owner has read, write, execute. The group is read and execute. Write W is left out, and everybody else in the last 3 bits is read and execute. So the first bit tells you it's a directory. The next 3 bits tells you what the user owner permission is, or the owner user permissions are. Then the next 3 bits are the owner group permissions, and then finally everybody else what they can do here. Okay, we're going to use folk. So I'm going to go cd, cd, and folk, and we're going to look inside of there, ls-l, and I'm looking inside the folk folder, and there is a folk text file there that basically says, well, there's no D, so there means it's a file. The first 3 bits is read, write. There's no execute. So in other words, root could read and write, but they can't execute run any files out of here. The root group, anybody in the root group can read, and that's it. No write, no execute, because those are left out. And then finally, everybody else, the general public, all others, everyone, read only. Okay, so those are the permissions here. So right now, I'm going to work inside this folks text here. So if I want to, there's a lot of different ways that we can do these things here. So when we start changing these folders here, right, you can always go and say, all right, this is the permissions, and use a numerical value here. Okay. So instead, we're going to use a little bit more complex. A lot of people would rather use numerical values than they would use the letters. But we're going to go and show both. One of the other videos showed the numerical values. Here's the letters. I'm going to go CH. Oops, where am I here? CHMOD. Okay. And what I'm going to type in here is this. I'm going to type in the concept, something to do the change here. Let me just set something else up here. Okay. Here I am back again. Okay, chmod, all right. There are 4 options here. I could use a value U, which would stand for the user owner. If I typed in U, it would change to the root user. So I'm going to go U, okay. And then I'm going to either add or delete something. So you'll notice right now for the root it's read and write. I'm going to add the execute command. So I'm going to go plus execute space folk.txt. Press enter, ls-l, and you'll notice by using that command, U means the user owner, and I have given that person, I added the execute. So read, write, execute. Okay. If I want to add to the group, which is read only, I'm going to go chmod again. Okay. Space for the group, G, I should say G, and I'm going to add the write command, add W to the file folk.txt. All right, ls-l, and this time you'll notice when I wrote to the group, I was going to add the write. So you'll notice before where it was read was the only command. Now it's read and write. So I've added a value of a permission to the group. Let's say I'm going to do this for the others. Okay, so now for the others, I'm going to go chmod. Okay, O for others, and I'm going to add, okay, write permission for this. And it's going to the file called folk.txt. And I press enter. Go ls-l, and you'll notice now the others, before we didn't have write access, now have write access. Let's clear this all up. Okay, and let's give us something to refer back to. ls-l. Okay, here we are. Let's say I want to take this, and I'm going to go chmod. I'm going to type in the letter A, which basically, before I had U for the user, G for the group, right? O for the others. Well, right now I'm focusing in just on this, right? A for everybody. I'm going to remove the write permissions from everybody for the group called folk.txt. And I press enter, ls-l, and you'll notice the write permissions for everybody has been removed. Okay, so just a quick review here. You could use chmod, right? And you can then indicate specifically which person or group or gets with specific permissions. U for the user owner, G for the owner group, O for the others, and A for all users here. Okay, now if you want to add a permission, you go plus. If you want to delete a permission, you go minus W, or for write or anything else, or it's basically a minus beforehand. Okay,